All right. We're live. We're here. Oh, you know what? Look how horrible I am. This is the kind of day I've had. That's not you. That's not you. Today, we are here with Chelsey from Bradley Brew Project. She is one of the owners. You and your husband, right?
My husband and I.
Yeah. So, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having
me. I told a lot of people that you were coming on the show, and they're like, "Oh," and I was like, "Yeah, I know people."
Yeah, it's convenient.
Yes,
too, 'cause we live so close.
Absolutely. So. Chelsey's also my neighbor, which comes in handy when you've got small kids and just need to go around the corner for a live YouTube. So.
And I get to hang out away from my kids for a little bit.
Yes, and at the bar, nonetheless, and have some drinks.
This is great. I'm so happy to be here.
Thank you for coming. So I wanted to talk with you about how you got into the brewery business. That's probably a loaded question. You probably hear that a lot. What did you do before?
So I'll speak specifically to beer because I did a lot before and that was outside of beer. But I got my legs into the beer world when I was a bartender at a craft beer bar in Jersey City. I found there was a lot of conversation around craft beer, and this was now, oh my gosh, 12 years ago. I'm aging myself now. And there's a lot of conversation around craft beer that was similar to wine. And I was like, wow, this is really neat. People don't just go out and drink beer to get drunk. People really enjoy this. And I just fell in love with it. And the bar I worked at had 40 taps. So I would just sit there and taste them. Yeah. Tasting notes.
So are they constantly rotating?
Constantly rotating. The owner would bring in specialty beers all the time. I started creating Meet the Brewer nights where I would bring in the owner of a brewery and they would hang out for the night. And
that's nice.
To hang out with them. I just really fell in love with the conversation around beer. Not even the beer, just like what was happening around it. And drinking the beer definitely helped. I just loved it. I loved everything about it. I loved the fact that, I was in my early 20s and I didn't have to go out to a club with my friends. I could sit at a bar and taste beer and talk about the tasting notes and the profile of the beer with all different types of people.
So you're probably, building your palate too and getting more experienced and diversified and all these things. I didn't really get into craft beer other than Fat Tire got from Colorado, and that was like my jam until I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 years ago. So and that was when I was 30. So it's wild how this world of craft beer, which is so big now, it's so big. It's like the thing to do.
It's so small still, though.
It is, but
it is. It's big because we're in it, and there's still so many. It's owning a brewery and seeing the people that walk in that don't know anything about craft beer.
Right. But the hype behind craft beer is so big right now.
Yeah.
And going to breweries, and I know people who maybe they're not super big, like hardcore craft beer drinkers, but when they go out of town, they want to go and check out a brewery when they're there.
You really get a feel for the town when you go to a brewery.
Absolutely, because it's small.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And when did you meet your husband?
So that was part of my bar story that I was working at. I ended up becoming general manager of that bar, and within that time, Mike, my husband, was regular there. And we used to have the best conversations around beer. Not interested in each other, just really liked each other for the beer talk, really. And time went on, and eventually, probably a year or two after the first time I met him, we started dating, and one thing led to another, and now we're married and have our own brewery. But we lived in Jersey City at the time, and when we were dating, we used to walk around the streets of Jersey City and look at all the empty storefronts. Because at that time in Jersey City, it wasn't a big boom yet. It was just starting. So there were a lot of empty storefronts. And we'd be like, what can we put in here? Like, we always wanted to create something. We always had ideas. That was all of our conversations were beer, ideas, things we can do with our lives and the world, or just very profound people. Not really.
What's Mike's background?
So he was a home brewer.
Oh, okay.
So when we met, he had the home brewing side, and I had the just
The business side.
business side
And
of
the
beer.
face side. Yeah.
And so that's how it really started, and it just has grown from there.
And you have roots down in this area, right?
I was, born and bred down here.
Right.
So I grew up right in Farmingdale down the street. So when I was pregnant, I knew I wanted to come back down here to raise my family, because who wouldn't want to raise their family by the beach? And when we moved here, Beach House was just getting built, and we were like, this is amazing. A brewery's being built like a mile from our home. We walk by it every day. We thought it was the coolest thing. And this is before we had any idea that we would eventually open our own. So we were really excited to move into a town that had a brewery right down the street. And now,
what was the turning point where you were like, let's do it?
So like I said, we always had a lot of conversations and ideas and thoughts around different businesses. And a lot of it was just pillow talk at the end of the night. Like, let's create something where people come in and they pick the flavor profile for an event or a wedding, and then we make the beer. That was the original thought behind the business. And we kind of built off of that. And that was what we really wanted to do. We wanted to create this experience for people. Something outside. We loved breweries, but I don't know if we thought we wouldn't be capable of opening a brewery.
It's a lot.
We really didn't know much about it.
Right, about the big brewing side.
Right. It's totally home brewing and brewing on a commercial scale.
Two different
very
worlds.
different.
Yeah.
And we found that out the first week. But so it's, we started this idea of creating beer for people, and then a lot of, like, having pictures of different hops. Do you want this hop, this hop? Literally will point, and that's the beer we create. Moving forward with this, and learning about New Jersey laws and what it would take to start something like that, we quickly realized that couldn't have been a reality unless we had a brewery. So we kind of flipped gears, and before we found this place in Bradley Beach, we were looking at multiple other locations, and we almost would get one, and then we would lose it, and then we were at different levels of getting it and lose it at different points. So it was
frustrating.
It was crazy. But then we landed in Bradley Beach, and we just, it took, from the time we found the spot in Bradley Beach, it probably took us 2 years to open our doors. So It was a long while of thought and planning. And
now, was this really because you had to have beer available when you opened the doors, right?
Yes. But it's just, there's so many things that you have to get approval for before you open with the state, with the town. The building we went into, we needed a variance. So that was another hurdle we had to jump.
Yeah.
The state, as long as you do all of your due diligence, it really isn't so bad. It just takes a little while because there's a lot of due diligence on their end that they have to confirm. So a lot of people will say, the state is so hard. It's so difficult to get this license, but
it is, but it isn't.
It is, but it isn't.
Yeah.
You just got to put in the work.
Yeah.
You got to pack it like this big.
Oh, gosh.
And
well, you're well versed now.
I know, and now
ever want to open another one?
Now 4 or 5 years ago, and I'm like, oh geez, you forget everything that you've gone through.
Yeah.
But yeah, we are where we are now. We're super happy and excited for.
Yeah, and you have that great outdoor area now in the back.
Yep.
And I love that that fire door. What would you call that door?
The garage door.
The garage door. Yeah.
The big garage door.
Did you have that put in, or was it already there?
No, we had it put in.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's great.
That's
That's such a clever idea. I see that in New York City a lot, and in North Jersey.
Yep.
To like bring outside in.
It's so great, and you see a lot of new buildings doing it, and I think it's
especially in
wonderful.
A location where you don't have room to have outside seating in front.
Right,
of the building.
especially on a main street.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's just
how
no
much
way.
fun.
Yeah. it's like you're outside but you're not.
And it draws people in. When
It
they
does.
see that, they are immediately asked, like, what's this place? What's going on
It's
in there?
inviting,
I want to know.
for
I
sure.
want to go in.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
We pull a lot of people in that way.
So how many different beers have you guys made now?
Oh my gosh. I don't know if
hundreds?
I don't know. I was gonna say I don't know if any one of us could answer
You
that
kept
question.
track of it?
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
it's
we
all
did.
kept
This was
track.
our 100th beer that we created.
We're probably right around there. Matt, our brewer, would know instantly.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been variety has always been a big thing for us.
Sure.
While we like to have our core favorites and our core ones that our
Staples,
customers love, we do like to have variety because that's the whole point of why we even opened. We wanted to teach people about beer. We wanted people to try different things, and we wanted to have something for everybody.
That's great.
So we wanted to have something for the beer connoisseur, and we wanted to have something for somebody that's never had a beer before. And sometimes that beer is the same thing for both people, So
if you want to start easy, then try this, right?
Yeah. For anyone watching, if you have any questions, feel free to chime in. We'll look over periodically, and you can ask Chelsey or myself anything you'd like to know, and we will answer them for you the best we can.
So Chelsey has graciously brought some fantastic beers from her brewery today. I also have a beer that I thought I have never tried from Other Half, and who I like a lot, and I didn't think that you had tried it either. So, do you have a preference? Look, you've got the one.
I know the one.
The one, the elusive. Can I speak to the manager? The collaboration with Me Moms sold out in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever it was.
It was incredible. It was a really cool experience.
That's awesome. I got my hands on one of these empties.
Oh my gosh.
Not full, but I got an empty one. I got one.
For you guys tonight, so.
Well, I think that we should try it.
All right.
This is the one that everyone was talking about.
Let's do it.
So this is called Can I Speak to the Manager? It is a collaboration with Me Moms, which is a breakfast place here in Wall. They also have a second location. Three, right? They have a Brick and a Tom's River.
Maybe they
Longbridge?
might be opening a fourth. Other one's north. So
yeah. All right. So this is a breakfast ale brewed with Me Mom's Banana Fosters, French toast, and blueberry compote, vanilla, cinnamon, and milk sugar. Your Instagram on this one, creating it, was great. Throwing the legit French toast into the brewing process.
That's what happened.
Yes.
It was real.
It was real. It was not for show.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Cheers.
So I do the 3-sip test.
I love that.
You know that one?
So whenever when somebody's trying a beer for the first time, you could never know if you like it off of just one sip.
No.
You can't really know if you like it off of 3 sips.
Right.
You really have to sit with the beer, let it get all around your mouth. I know this sounds a little
dirty.
Just talking about beer. Really let it get in there. But also, I always, when I'm tasting my beer, I always wrap my hands around it too, just to warm it up a little and let the flavors really come out. That way, as it warms up, you're gonna be able to pull more of the flavors out.
It's a nice color.
Yeah,
This
beautiful.
is a very nice drinking beer.
And it's very easy drinking,
yes.
Which is a little scary because this is a. I want to give you the exact percentage.
8?
But it's 7.
It's 7. Okay, 7.
7 exactly.
Yeah.
7%. Yep. So, and the reason I love this beer so much, our brewers did a great job with it. You can taste the French toast, but it's not this heavy sweet.
It's not.
It's like the perfect balance.
It is
of a good beer, and then this, the collaboration that we did with Me Moms.
Yeah, I unfortunately have tried hundreds of stouts and hundreds of porters or ports, and I just can't do it. It's just not for me. Too sweet. I'm not a chocolate person. I'm not a coffee person other than my caramel cream cold brew from Starbucks. That's about how I live my life. I don't even know how to make a pot of coffee. So, but this is great. And I'm not a sweet person. This is nice. This is nice. Like you said, there's so many different flavors happening in your mouth, and neither one overshadows the other.
Yep.
And it's very well balanced.
Yeah,
so well done. Well done.
Thank you. It's a fun little beer.
Yeah, that's too easy to drink.
It is. It's not. I mean, it's they just everything about it is something we probably never thought we would have brewed, right? But when another business like Me Moms comes to you and wants to collaborate, you figure out how you do it. And what's really cool about these collaborations is we really allow the other side to have input on what they want to do. So they came up with what they wanted to flavor beer. We were like, we want to do this, or we're just going to put your logo on it. They came in and sat with us for hours and tasted our beers and let them smell hops and really inquired about what they would like the beer to taste like. So
that's awesome.
True collaboration.
So I made this one today. I made this candle today. Yes, and I don't have every flavor out there. I don't have every scent available to me, but I did my best to match what is in here.
That's exciting.
So the scent that I created for this can is vanilla, cinnamon, banana, and strawberry.
Ooh, delicious.
So I figured those 4 things together would kind of mirror. We don't have blueberry, but we have strawberry. And we do have the banana. We've got, there's a cinnamon stick on here. I think that
would be hard for me to sell because I want to keep that can.
Right.
You make an extra on the side for yourself.
Well, I can. If you leave that can with me, I can make it for you. So
I'm leaving all these. Cans with you, don't worry.
So let's try another. What's your favorite scent, by the way, for candles?
Oh my gosh. I am not. I can tell you what I don't like.
Yeah, that might be easier.
I don't like the perfumey scents.
Mm-hmm. Floral, more. You don't like a lot of floral.
No. Yeah. Much more into fruity.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like masculine scents like the cedar wood.
Yeah.
But my husband, whatever he likes, I don't like, and whatever I like, he doesn't like. But they say opposites attract, so it works out for us.
So let's crack this guy open. So this is other half. We're gonna get a better camera soon, guys. We're amateur over here. This is Mosaic Dream, an IPA. This is a 6%er. I'm an IPA lover.
Okay.
I like all kinds of things, but IPA is my go-to. Most of our beers in our fridge are IPA, and so my husband said, "You want a beer?" I'll say yes. He's like, "What kind?" And I'm like,
"Why are you asking?"
They're all the same. They're not. I'm just like, surprised me because I went to Kane the other day. My sister was in town, and she loves going to the breweries out here. I brought her to Bradley twice.
Awesome.
She lives in Colorado, and so she loves Kane, and with COVID and the kids, reservations are difficult. They just start allowing kids all the time, which was great. And we went there and we're drinking some beers in their tent, and I went to grab some beers to go. Ended up buying 8 4-packs, all different kinds, because I like to try everything. I'm pretty sure they were all IPAs. Oh, look at this one. This one's cloudy. Horrible pour on that one and do better. Get a little head. Mine is too big of a head.
I just want to see.
Yeah, for sure. So I am, because I do run a candle company, I do buy my beer based off the label.
I don't blame you. I would do the same thing.
But I do agree. I'm very picky, right? So I do know. I'm like, I don't know about you. Your label's cool, but I'll let somebody else buy that one. Cheers.
Cheers.
Well, that's nice.
It's very hop forward.
Mm-hmm. I'm the big hoppy lady.
You're gonna like this one. Actually, you're gonna like both of these 2 right here. These are both new ones that we just actually all 3 of those we just released.
Yeah, this one too, right?
Yep, our Munich.
The Uncle. I love Dunkel's. Dunkel's my favorite. Second favorite.
Is it?
So many. I've been to Germany 4 times.
Have you?
And I love a good Dunkel. They are so hard to find locally. A lot of people don't make them. They're underrated. A lot of people don't know about a Dunkel. So we should do that next.
Yes, definitely. And it's funny you say that, because I thought the same thing, that when I'm describing, the biscuity notes of this beer. And I always don't think people are going to connect with that. And everyone's like, I want that one. That sounds amazing. I'm like, awesome. Okay, this is great.
That's a win. This is good. I love hazy IPAs. Mosaic. I don't really, I know, like I hear the word mosaic a lot. I have no idea what it is and what it means. I usually picture this when I hear mosaic. It's cloudy and with a little bit of citrus in there.
So mosaic is just talking about the hops. On most breweries will use, they'll put the hops that they use on the label because a lot of people connect with those flavors. There's certain flavors that hops give off. So this one we use Columbus and Centennial hops, which really are a good marriage together. This one we use, this is double dry hops. So we use Galaxy hops, and that gives off a lot of melon. You'll get melon.
I knew what you were saying.
So yeah. I don't get to talk to adults a lot, so when I do, I'm like, Melanie,
you know
do you
what,
want a cookie? Do you want everything
Wikipedia.
has a Y at the end.
Put it on Wikipedia, and then it's a real word. So I make up words all the time.
Constantly.
Yeah.
It's the only way to get by.
I could drink that all day. That's nice. It's light.
It is. It's
for an IPA.
It's it feels like a cloud in your mouth.
Yeah, I mean thus the clouds on the label. That's very, very
good marketing.
Yeah. They knew what they were doing.
I love these little glasses too.
We keep, not all because we go to too many beer fests, but sometimes we we did the beer run at a layer.
Yep.
And that's where we got these.
Okay.
And I like their little shapes. So
Mike, my husband, is a big glass guy. He's
I got rid of so many the other day.
And we constantly
I feel like I'm a hoarder.
I can't. We can connect with that.
Yeah.
When I first started getting into craft beer, I was very diligent about my glassware and the style of beer I was drinking. And it had to go in the appropriate glass.
We've got some tulip glasses there.
I'm so far. I just want in a glass now. But
Yeah.
my husband has still stuck with that a little more than I have.
Yeah, we got these from the beer run, and then of course we have the Asbury Beer Fest glasses. I have never missed an Asbury Beer Fest. I even went on when I was pregnant because God forbid, I want to say I've never missed one. So I did leave early because it's no fun when you're sober and pregnant and everyone's just standing around and you're standing on your feet and you're pregnant.
But you still made it.
I did. I went, I stayed for an hour and then picked everybody else up later.
There you go.
I'm so bummed that they're just, there was no beer fest this year, obviously because of COVID.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed for next year. Have you ever thought about doing?
Yeah, it's funny. Our first year, we didn't really do any festivals. We wanted to focus on what we were doing in the business. Second year, we toyed around with it, and it became more of a hassle and a stress for us than fun for us.
Yeah.
And
that's when
we just were like, you know what? We have so much to focus on in here. If it was a little bit more convenient for us, we would absolutely do one. If it had a good cause behind it, we would absolutely do it. But if it's going to be a problem, why do it? We're so small, and we don't have all the resources that we need to, take time away from our standing facility to go to a festival. Right. For a while, I was like, is this the right thing? Shouldn't we be doing festivals? Or, no, you know what? I don't want to do festivals. We've been going back and forth with it so much.
Well, maybe one day
we will change our mind again.
I don't know if you've looked into the Asbury Park one, but I think if any, you should do that one because it's local. You don't have to go very far. It seems a pretty easy situation. I don't know on the other side. Yeah,
and for a lot of these festivals, you have to, for an Asbury Park festival, you actually have to pay to be there. Right. And most of the breweries kind of get grandfathered in as they're there. So there's only so many that can go. So you literally, if you say you want to go, you most likely are on a waiting list to get in. Yeah. So that's a stress in itself. And then you find out you can't be in it. Right. I just put all this effort into trying to get it, so.
It might not be worth it.
Maybe one day.
You don't need, here's the thing. You guys I went in after Saturday after the Green Fair to pick up beer to go, and it was packed. You don't need it,
It's fun to. I like going to festivals. I do.
We'll go as a patron.
But exactly.
You know?
I
don't want to work. I want to drink.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
I want to enjoy it.
That's what you do. You're the flavor. You're the palate. You know, you got that palate. All right. Let's see.
You want to do the
I
dunkel?
want to do the dunkel so bad.
This one's underrated, I think, because a lot of people, like you said, IPAs are what most people go for. So when you hear a style of a dunkel, if you're just getting into the brew world, you don't really understand what that means.
Yeah. So just so everybody knows, a dunkel is a German style beer. Is it typically a Munich, or is it's a German style?
Munich style, yeah. I mean, true Germans,
right?
It's Munich
dunkel. Yeah.
But with dunkels, you always get, when you pour, you're going to get like a darker caramely color.
Right.
And you'll pick up a lot of biscuit notes from it. And that's what
it's a dark beer, but it's a light
drinker.
Taste, yes. A little better on that. The first one. Used to be a bartender.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. I got my bartending license when I moved here, but I actually never ended up getting a bartending job here, but I used to bartend in Colorado. And I bartended for a couple different places. I bartended for like an English pub, and I bartended for a hotel, MC Suite. So, you know, that happy hour that they have is jam is like the best.
Ballin',
oh yeah. Dollar drinks, that's how it goes. Cheers.
Cheers.
So if you can see, this is a darker beer, but it doesn't
darker,
go
but you can
down
still kind of see through it a little bit. Can't see straight through it, but you can see your fingers.
I would compare it color-wise more to a brown ale.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice.
And this is one too. I like to warm up all my beers.
I cannot describe a dunkel to somebody else, but I know it when I taste it. Like if somebody gave me a dunkel and they didn't tell me it was a dunkel, I would know.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, it has a very distinct,
it's very distinct
flavor profile, and there's not really like an IPA, or there's so many different things you could do with it.
If you know German beers, you know a dunkel, and you might not know it's a dunkel, but you'll know it's a German beer.
It's a very distinctive bit, and I'm thinking of the exact biscuit that it tastes like in my head, but I don't know what it's called. But you get that.
And this one is 5.5%. Most dunkels are between 4.5 and 6.
They're on the lighter side.
Rarely see a 6. More 5.5. So these are nice to, you know, just drink on a hot day. Nice and cold. You like your beer room temperature or hand warmed. I depend on the day. If it's summer, I want my beer ice cold, you know.
I mean, me too.
Yeah. Hot day. It was hot today. It was amazing. My husband left for PA this morning. We got an electric bike so that we can bike to the beach now. We don't have to deal with parking because it's a disaster. I got my beach badges. We're ready to go. We got the kid carrier that hooks up to the bike. Everybody's got helmets. We're good to go. And I picked my son up from school, which is 2.5 miles away, a month ago when we had a nice day and we just got on the bike. And that was fun, but I would have done it today if my husband was home.
Yeah, it was
gorgeous today.
So nice. It was a good all day on to drink beer.
I know.
It's funny when it gets warm out. You're like,
I just want to go.
It's 10 a.m.
Day drink. Yes, it's a day drinking day. Now. I mean, it's Wednesday. We're halfway through the week, so there's that, and then double digits, no problem. But responsibilities, man. They're the worst.
They're the best and the worst.
Right? There was lots of sarcasm.
I love having all the responsibility, and I also hate it.
Yes. I'm a workaholic. I'm guessing you are too. So
we never stop.
No, you don't want to, but then you're like, oh, I need a vacation. Oh, but I have all this work to do.
I remember when I was younger and I was thinking about my career and how I based what I wanted to do off of the time I would have off. And I was like, well, I can't do that because then I can't go on vacation. No, I can't do this because then I'll be working late and I want to like hang out. And now I'm like, all of that went out the window. We literally work from the time we wake up to the time we go to sleep. And
whether it's your job, your family, your kids,
it's constant. It's
you know, when you're a
24/7.
mom and you run a business,
forget it.
You work 24/7.
Forget it. But I want to have it any other way. It
Yeah.
gives me, I feel like I have a lot of grit and I have, I just don't want to.
We definitely have those stressful days where you just want to vent and just say everyone sucks and everything sucks, but you know it's not really true, and you just like push it out and then just move on.
Yep.
You know,
And keep moving forward.
Yes.
Never look back.
I wake up every morning different than when I go to bed. I wake up every morning with a smile on my face, with my feet on the ground, ready to go.
That's amazing.
And,
I'm not a morning person.
Well, my kids are up at 6 a.m., so I have no choice.
So are mine. But my kids, they're like insane. I'm like, you're 8. At 8, don't you start sleeping in a little bit?
Well, that's what I thought about my 3-year-old since he was 1. But and then I thought since COVID hit that he would start sleeping in later because we were all home. Yeah, no, that didn't happen because I used to work in the city, so I'd be out the door at 4:30 in the morning. My husband was working up in Randolph, which is 80 miles northwest of here, so he was out the door at 5 a.m. So we were all up early anyway, so he kind of got used to that lifestyle. And then we were all home, and I was like, yes, he's going to start sleeping in. Give it a month. Okay, maybe 2 months. All right, well, how about 3? A year later, we got nothing.
Well, that's why we drink.
That is why we drink.
It takes the edge off now.
Some days, when I get a babysitter, they're like, what time do you want them to go to bed? I'm like, 11. Just in hopes that they'll sleep past 6.
Oh my gosh.
It's a 50-50 shot.
And most
that
of the time that they
sleep till
will still
7.
wake up at
6.
6.
Yeah, it's a 50-50 chance. But I'll take it. Yeah.
It's funny because when you have kids, you start drinking earlier and earlier just because you don't want a hangover because they're gonna get up early.
And then, or when you have a partner, you're just like, okay, I'm gonna go deep down the rabbit hole tonight, and you're gonna handle everything tomorrow, and then we'll swap next time.
It's crazy. I never thought I would be having these conversations. I thought I was like, that would never happen to me.
Welcome to your life.
The insanity.
Yeah. So I wanted to talk to you about another collab that you did recently. Is this recent? No, not as recent as the Me Moms, right?
No, but this is the second time we're doing this collaboration with them. Same beer.
Yeah.
We did it a year ago, and now we're doing it again with them.
So what I'm talking to Chelsey about is the Our Season, which is the beer collaboration with Last Wave. Last Wave is a brewery in Point Pleasant Beach, and they have awesome stuff too.
I love that.
So this was an awesome collaboration to do, and I love it because it kind of looks like a beach badge in the front, and you have all the little 2 guys going surfing because that's what Last Wave's all about.
Yep.
And then you've got the dog, which is you guys, and lifeguard on duty. So this is a session IPA. This is a 4.8%. I'm really shocked how low this is.
Yeah?
This is not. I'm one of those horrible people that the higher percentage, the better. Because I'm not a small person. So if I'm gonna drink, I want to feel a buzz from it, right?
I get that. I get
If I'm going to put those empty calories in my body, I better get something out of it.
When we met with the guys at Last Wave, they're awesome. They're actually one of my favorite breweries in New Jersey, just because I love everything they're doing over there. We were just both on the same page and wanted to do something that was drinkable, a session IPA, something you could just kind of sip all day during the off season, once summer ends and you get that summer,
the local
summer, right? We have this right before summer hits. But now it's funny, it was warm out today and it took me 20 minutes to get to the brewery, which is 5 minutes away from here.
It said it was going to be 70 and then it said it was going to be 75 and then it hit 80. And I said, I didn't plan appropriately because I would have halted everything. But I couldn't.
Yeah.
Sometimes it just comes out of nowhere.
But
I've been wearing flip flops all day. I'll tell you.
I have too.
Yes.
I just put sneakers on because I was like, Leah's not gonna want to see my feet.
Stop it. I think I have one little bit of nail polish left from my pedicure 2 months ago.
I haven't done that in a long time. What's that?
Cheers. Oh, this is a nice clear color.
Yep, it's a very easy drinking beer. It's
Oh, that's good flavor.
yeah, and it's subtle flavor.
Mm-hmm.
It's not punch you in the face.
No, but it's nice.
a simple beer, but it's
It looks like a Bud Light, but it tastes 10 times better.
yes,
Yes.
oh, yeah, for sure. You're
I just
definitely
mean
gonna get
like
a
the
little
color
bit
wise.
more
It
than
is a
Bud
little
Light.
hazier than a Bud Light. It's not just me.
So what's cool about this is we brewed our version at the brewery, and then last wave brewed their version using the same ingredients, same hop profile, and everything else. But when you're brewing on different systems, there's a very likely chance that it's gonna turn out a little different. So it's fun to drink them side by side and see the little nuances.
Yeah. Do they have stuff? Do they have theirs?
They did.
Available now?
They did release it around the same time we did.
Okay.
So I don't know if they sold out or not.
Yeah.
But
I tried to get my hands on that the Loch Ness Monster one that you had.
sea monster.
I saw them, but I was like,
I almost brought that tonight too, but I was like, I want to bring stuff that's
it's okay. I'll just come
available.
over later.
Yeah, here, I'll bring it over to you. I'll drop it off in your mailbox.
When I went to pick up beers, I knew that the can I speak to your manager was gone. I knew that because I saw it, and I saw everybody talking about it, and I was like, that's wild and awesome. I think that's the first, like, the fastest sellout you've ever had, right?
Probably.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, let me see if I can get my hands on that sea monster. And I know people come and they pre-order, right? And they come pick up stuff. So I was like, they were some on the counter, but they were not for me. So
yeah, we have a little stash in the back for all the pre-orders.
Yes.
You're right. People do see that stuff. Like, you still have it. People get so angry.
Oh, I wasn't mad. I just was like, do you have any left?
Is there an extra back there somewhere?
No. Okay.
I know. That one went pretty quick too. Sea Monsters, so it was a popular one.
But I did get 2 of these, 2 4-packs of those.
Oh, nice.
I love the double
That will make
hops.
a good candle.
Yes. I get all the Unicorn Girl ones. Especially that 11%er. My husband.
Alicorn Girls?
Yes. Well, no, not the yeah.
Oh, can I see my or I can't see my elbows?
No, it's the other one, the blue one with all the little unicorns on it.
That's 11%?
I thought maybe it's the alicorn, but he cracked that one open and he was drinking it and then he realized and he was like, uh-oh.
You only need one.
Right. I said, I guess that's your beer for the night.
Literally. Yeah.
It's going to put you right to sleep.
Best.
Yeah, it's so good.
You mean I only have to drink one of these?
Right. But then you're disappointed because you want to keep drinking.
And then you do keep drinking.
And then it's a problem. Yes.
Yes.
This is nice. That's easy. That's an easy drinker.
Yeah, everything is subtle about it. It's, the bitterness is subtle, but it's there, like you would get in an IPA. The tropical or more flavors coming from the hops is very subtle.
It is, but it's there. I taste it as I continue to sip on it.
And as it gets warmer. So this is a very popular beer. It's for, this is when I said before that we make beer for all different types of people. This is one of those beers that's for every beer drinker.
Yes, absolutely.
So you're just getting into it, someone who's been drinking for a while.
And it's interesting that,
craft beer.
That this is an IPA, right? It's an India Pale Ale. And that, that's the cat.
Oh my
Sorry. You want to do me a favor and just slide that door open?
Of course.
Her bathroom is down here. Sorry, guys. We have critters. Oh, there she goes.
I'm sorry.
Either bathroom or just visiting. We'll find out. Are you allergic?
No.
Okay,
oh my gosh. I love
She's very friendly. She'll probably jump up on the bar and say hi to everybody. This is Zoe.
Hi, Zoe.
We have a black cat and a black dog. Just so you always know when the
You can
floors are
always-
dirty.
Oh my goodness.
She's very friendly. This is nice.
Just an easy drinking beer.
Yeah.
This is the type of beer when somebody asks, "Can you grab me a beer?" and they say, "Anything, just grab me
Right.
anything." This is what you would grab them.
Or you know what I like this is that I know people who are like, I have friends that say, "Oh, I don't drink IPAs.
Oh,
They taste like trees."
Uh-huh.
I won't. If you're watching, you know who I'm talking about. But I won't name names. But this would be something that I could sneak to him, and he would not even know he is drinking an IPA.
Well, it's so funny you say that. I was just having a conversation with somebody because I can't tell you how many people come into the brewery and say, "I don't like IPAs. What can you give me?" I'm like, "Well, what don't you like about IPAs? Why
Right.
don't you like IPAs? Is it because they're too bitter? Is it because what about
Right.
them?" And a lot of times they can't answer that question.
We're probably not well versed.
Maybe not well versed, or sometimes they are well versed and they just don't like the bitterness of an IPA.
and they don't know
And-
exactly what it is.
And that's when it's fun to introduce people to IPAs in a new way, because there might be an IPA out there that they like. And
They have this stigma about IPAs that they're like 8%, they're super hoppy.
and it's you get a lot of the hops on the back end too,
Mhm.
so your last swallow is just hops and bitterness. But that's not all IPAs. Some are more hop forward, and you get it in the beginning of the taste, and when you swallow, you're getting more of the fruit flavors at the end. So I feel like when people say they don't like an IPA, they just haven't maybe tried the right one. There definitely are people out there that do not like IPAs, but there's so many different varieties and different ways it hits your palate that there's an IPA for everybody.
I think so too. Obviously, this has opened my eyes because I've never had. I'll tell you right now, I've never had an IPA like this. So this gives me hope for my friends that say, like you said, they do not drink IPAs and they don't like IPAs, and I think
They're missing out on some really
this
good
will
beers.
change their minds. They are. I've created this stigma of what an IPA is, and it is not that.
Yes.
You guys have anything exciting and fun coming up for the summer?
Well, we have our 3-year anniversary coming up, which is super exciting and crazy. That's
And what month is that?
it's in June.
All right.
So we usually celebrate the first Saturday in June.
You guys doing anything special?
Yeah, we'll do. Usually we'd love to throw a big party, of course, but last year we didn't get to do it. This year we won't be able to do it again. But we do have some cool stuff coming out. We have a foeder in our brewery. So when you walk in, I'm sure you've seen the big wooden vessel. That's the first kind of tank you see. So we do a lot of really fun stuff in there. So we'll have something coming out of there for the anniversary. We always do a foeder style beer, and then we do something dark. So we'll be releasing this soon. And
Oh, that's exciting.
yeah, they're gonna be the
Top
guys
secret.
do a really good job and put a lot of thoughts into what they're brewing, and it feels like we really hit the jackpot with our staff because they're just Bradley Brew isn't just Mike and mine.
Sure.
It's like all of theirs, and they really treat it like
Yeah, I mean,
that.
I've been coming since you guys opened, and I still see the same faces
We've had
that
the
I
same
saw from the beginning.
employees.
And you
from the
have
beginning.
a father-daughter team.
So now
right, that
the
works
daughter
for you?
moved to Hawaii.
Right, because she was leaving for school.
right? And
Yeah.
now we have his wife.
Oh, okay.
Now works. So now it's a husband-wife
Reel her
team.
in.
And they work together a lot
I
of
saw,
shifts
what's
and-
his name?
Braddock.
Braddock. I saw him on Saturday. Yeah.
Braddock's the best.
Yeah, he's always.
They're all the best.
Yes.
Braddock's special. He knows it. Our whole staff knows it.
You have a family within your family.
We do.
Yeah,
We're very
absolutely.
fortunate.
That's great.
Yep.
Well, I just want to thank Chelsey for coming on the show today. And if you guys have any questions, you can always message me on and my team at Craft Brew Candle Co on Instagram, or Chelsey and her team at Bradley Brew Project on Instagram as well.
You can also reach out to both of us on our websites, craftbrewcandleco.com and Bradley Brew Project. It's
BradleyBrew.com.
Yes.
Make it a little easier.
Yes.
on the website.
Simplify it up. Yeah. I have a little parting
Aw.
gift for you.
Thank you so
Thought you
much.
should open that guy
Oh
up.
man,
and
this is exactly what I wanted too.
I hope it's a scent
Oh my
you like.
god!
So
That's amazing.
what did I?
Clean cotton.
Oh yeah.
Just
So there you
perfect
go.
for this.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that is
Yes.
so cool.
So I thought you could.
Thank
you
you so
have
much.
a little bit of me.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And thank you. And thanks everybody for tuning in. And we'll be doing this again next month. We'll be announcing in a couple weeks who we're going to have on the show. And in June, we're going to have Mike from New Jersey Craft Brew Club. So make sure to follow both of us on Instagram and have a great night and cheers.
Thank you. Cheers.